and welcome to Chrysalis Chats. My name is Tanya, and like a caterpillar to a butterfly, I help people metamorphosize their diets and lifestyles to be plant-based. Today we're talking about how to make the best vegan latkes. This is basically like vegan latkes 101. And in case you don't know what a latke is a potato pancake, and they make an amazing addition around the holiday season. So I wanted to go over in a video today showing you how to make them step by step and make sure that you understand that it's more of a formula than it is a recipe. So with that said, let's get into it. The first thing that you want to do when you're making your latkes is grate your potatoes. So you're going to take about 3 to 4 potatoes. And in case you're not familiar with my videos already, I'm experimenting with a more open, free-flowing style so you don't have exactly a recipe to follow in front of you, but more of guidelines, because I want to build your capacity to cook meals that are plant-based at home without recipes, without having to be so regimented, right? I just want you to build your skill and ability of cooking, if that makes sense. So you're going to take 3 to 4 potatoes and you're going to grate them, right? You can grate them on like the medium one if you're used to grating cheese, probably that setting, not like super fine, okay? Then you're going to have in a large bowl a bunch of flaxseed meal, and we're looking at like 3 to 4 tablespoons of flaxseed meal, okay? Ground flax seeds. Flax seeds are an awesome source of omegas for our body of both 3, 6, and so forth. They're just full of nutrients, so they have a lot of nutritional value to this meal, okay? And at a functional level, especially as somebody looking to build their capacity to cook, they're actually an egg binder. They're an egg substitute. So what they do is they bind the stuff together to where it's not gonna like break apart while you're frying it. So you're gonna take that 3 to 4 tablespoons roughly of the flaxseed meal, and then you're gonna add some water to that to kind of like get it into a bit of a paste. You're looking at maybe 3/4 of a cup to a cup of water to start, okay? Then you mix it up, okay? And you don't want to take too long because it will get thick. You're gonna add to that some flour. We're talking about 3/4 of a cup of flour, all purpose. I like gluten-free, whatever's good for you. 3/4 of a cup-ish, maybe a cup. Just go with what you're working with. You can, as my grandmother always says, this is very important, you can always add more, but you can never take it out. And that is a very smart rule to remember while being a cook, while baking, whatever you're doing, making food. Just remember, you can always add more if you need it, but you can't take out salt, people. You can't take out too much flour, right? You can adjust, but I made my point. We're gonna move on. So anyway, then you're gonna add your flour to the water and the flaxseed, right? And your seasonings. This is where you get smoky paprika, smoked paprika. Black pepper is a must. Cumin is also in this recipe. Please note this is not your standard latke per se. Latkes don't really necessarily come with cumin, for example, okay? But what I'm teaching you is like a really good, wholesome, yummy, delicious latke. And don't feel like if you don't have cumin or you don't have smoked paprika, you can't make a latke. The basics here, people, the basics, salt and pepper. That's all you need for a good latke is salt and pepper, okay? But anyway, add whatever seasonings you're gonna add. You can even add roasted garlic, whatever floats your boat. Then you're gonna mix that up and then put it in a cast iron skillet. And these are oil-free, but they're totally not oil-free because I did put coconut oil in the cast iron. Let's be real, you can't really cook them in a cast iron without oil, okay? So anyway, good coconut oil at the bottom, and plop these on there in pancake form. You should see photo now. Then you're gonna cook that at about 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Do I have to flip them, Tanya? No, you don't have to flip them. Just let them cook on one side. If you want to flip them because you feel like you're an ultra sensitive texture eater and you want both sides to be like very similar, then yes, by all means, please flip them. However, it's totally not necessary, and I didn't flip mine and they're delicious. So the next thing you're gonna do, you got latkes, they're out the oven, they're fresh, right? It's been about 40 minutes at 350 degrees. You're gonna make some nice sauce for on top of there. So in a sauce, you can really just think basics, whatever you like. If you're a tahini dressing kind of gal or guy or whatever, and you're like really into the tahini dressing, you have it on hand, perfect, use it. My suggested recipe, take a can of chickpeas, throw that in a blender. To that, you're gonna add your roasted garlic in this recipe, or whatever seasonings you want, and also a good handful, we're talking like 3/4 of a cup to a cup, of scallions or green onions. Something green, something leafy, but like zesty, okay? You're gonna add that to your sauce. And then in my blender, I needed to add a little bit of water, so you might need to do that just to get the chickpeas actually blending up right into more of a puree versus like chunky. We're going for more of a sauce. To that, I didn't add anything. I just added the water and it was perfect. I added some salt and put it on top of my pancakes. You could also, though, in that instance, you could just as easily go a different route and add some tahini, just straight up tahini from the jar. You could add some hemp seeds to this. That would be totally awesome and delicious. Add to that texture. Definitely canned coconut milk if you're like, look, I'm cool with getting my like plant fat up, and coconut milk, it's seasoned, it's hot, it's rich, it's creamy, it's on top of my Latkes, then by all means put a can of coconut milk and you'll see a really delicious sauce. That would also take this kind of like oniony flavor really well, and if you were to do that, I would suggest adding about a teaspoon of onion powder and even garlic powder as well, because that would be really good. So with that said, friend, I hope you're enjoying your holidays. I hope you enjoy these awesome vegan potato Latkes on Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holiday around that time that you're celebrating, or if you're not, then anytime this winter, because they are amazing food for the cold weather and they're just delicious. Let's be real. When you need something warm and filling and quick and easy and yummy, this is your go-to. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, stay connected. Hit the like button, put a comment down below letting me know what surprised you about my version of making Latkes, and tell us a little bit about your latke making experience. Also, be sure you're subscribed, because if you're not subscribed, you're not going to get my updates when I upload a video, and you're also going to have to hit that bell icon. As I'm sure you're aware, YouTube changed things, so just go ahead and hit the bell. All right, friends. Thank you. Namaste. Whether you're just starting off as a tiny little caterpillar, like, where are the leaves at? Or you're a full-fledged butterfly sipping the nectar of a plant-based diet, you, my friend, are awesome. Have a blessed day.